The question of what becomes the most limiting factor in leadership, you could almost restate the question as what is the most valuable contribution of leadership? It's the same issue. And I just have to give a little background in the way God created things that make the point. And not everybody appreciates science, but I'm an engineer, and so I draw learning. In fact, the Bible says that we learn about God's character from creation. And it really strikes me as peculiar, like there's a lesson here. When I read that 98% of all the material, all the atoms in the universe are two simple atoms, helium and hydrogen. They're the simplest atoms there are. And yet God built all this incredible complexity and beauty starting with just two simple ingredients. And I personally think there's an object lesson here about what leadership's all about. And here's the lesson. The amazing thing of creation is not the raw materials from which it's made. The amazing thing from creation is how they are assembled, how they're put together. That's what's astonishing. And so it's the wisdom that it took these raw materials and assembled them in different ways. And to be honest with you, the only difference between me and 3 buckets of water and a bucket of coal is the way my atoms are put together. I'm 95% hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon, and so are you. And so the only difference between the 3 buckets of water and a bucket of coal is the way those things are assembled. So what's that got to do with leadership? Well, leadership is assembling a group of people around a common purpose. Just like building a body is assembling electrons around a purpose, leadership is putting people together around a purpose. And how do you do it? You have to figure out a way to bond them together. And that's the most important role of leadership. And God has created it so that we can't get what we want without working together. And it takes leadership to bond and integrate, just the way electromagnetism bonds my atoms.